What's going on, everybody? Cigar Show Tim here with another edition of Tobacco Talk, where I review a cigar and then I give you my thoughts on it in 4 key areas: flavor, draw, construction, and burn. It's everything you want to know about that cigar, but it's from my palate's perspective, and then I rate it as to whether I think it's noteworthy or not. So, this cigar got a lot of attention at PCA when I walked by the HVC booth. There were people that were asking questions, checking it out, all that good stuff. I saw it. I said, I got to get my hands on one. And I did because it came in this month's BL Luxuries box. So, for this review, as the title says, I have got the HVC Hotcake Golden Line. It is a Corona Gorda coming in at 5 5/8 by 46, which is absolutely perfect for what I enjoy. So, if we're going to review it, there's only one thing left to do. Let's light it up. All right, I went with a nice, simple, straight cut, as you can see right there. So on the cold draw, I picked up a very, very strong honey graham cracker note off of it, but there's this unique light breadiness that's in there. It's almost got like a sourdough bread kind of tang to it as well, and it was really, really good. And then just like some sweet fruit, maybe like a sweet green grape. So let's toast her up. All right, upon initial light up, I'm picking up very pronounced white pepper on the tongue. Long finish, it's starting to transition into a little bit of a black pepper. Really nice light cedar note that's in there as well. There's some good breadiness, but there's some really good creaminess that's in there as well. It's like a creamy, peppery kind of prominence. And then you get all the rest of the flavors with it, with the light cedar wood and everything else. So I'm going to jump into the first third. When I come back, I'll let you know the blend on this cigar, go into some detail about it, and let you know anything else that, well, I think you might find interesting. All right, let me show you the burn here at the end of the first third. As you can see here, got a little bit of a wave to it, but nothing too crazy, just mostly right here on the back side of the cigar. Nice mascara line on it. All that stuff's going well. So, flavor notes in the first third. So that pepper note dissipated pretty quickly and went into a really nice leather note with some that cedar wood that is absolutely still there. The creaminess is still there as well. And there's just a hint with that creaminess of almost like a creamy chocolate that's in there. Really unique for a Connecticut wrapped cigar, which isn't typical, but with the blend on it, it does make sense. So the blend on this is it has an Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper on it over Nicaraguan binders and fillers from the Jalapa and Esteli regions in Nicaragua. So that's the blend on it. It does come in 4 different sizes. There is this one, which is the Corona Gorda, a 5 5/8 by 46. It is also available in a what they call a Laguido number 4, which is a 4.5 by 52. There's a Laguido number 5, which is a 6 by 54, and then there's a Gran Cañon 6 by 60 or a Gordo size. So those are the 4 different sizes that it's offered in, and depending on the size of the vitola that you pick up, the price point, the MSRP on this is anywhere between $8.30 all the way up to $11.40 for the Gordo size. So that's the blend on it. That's what's gone on in the first third. In terms of strength, I'm going to say that this is just a mild plus. It is not very strong in strength whatsoever. The smoke output is very plentiful, and the body on it, I'd say it's probably medium bodied as right now. Not super deep with its flavor profile and its complexity, but that's what it's been like in the first third. I'm going to go and jump into the second third. When I come back, I'll let you know about any other changes in the flavor profile, what I'm experiencing, and anything else that I think might need to know. All right, let me show you the burn here at the end of the second third. As you can see here, the burn is still just a little bit wavy. Not perfectly straight, but has not canoed or run or done anything really bad at all. Smoke coming right there off the foot, as you can see, doing very, very well. Okay, all of these cigars, I didn't mention it in the last segment, all of these cigars are made in HVC's factory down in Esteli, Nicaragua, so that's where they're all produced. But the flavor notes in the second third, they continued to adjust just a little bit. The cedar wood has definitely come up and as the most prominent flavor note in the second third, followed right behind with a little bit of that leather note, and then that creaminess is still in there for me. There's a little bit of like a light minerality that's in there, just a little bit on the tip of my tongue, and it's a really good balance with the other flavor notes that are in there and doing really well. So a lot of you have probably heard of the HVC Hotcake. It is a very, very popular cigar that HVC puts out. There's the Hotcake. They did an anniversary Hotcake 10 that they released pretty recently. And this is just a new extension in that line for HVC for the hotcake. And so it is the Golden Line or Connecticut. And so that's what it's been like in the second third. I would say the strength on this is probably medium minus, not very strong. The body is still a good medium body. It hasn't gotten into a full body and has been very, very enjoyable so far. I thought this was going to be a cigar that, especially with the way that it was upon initial light up, that it was going to have quite a bit of pepper spice and different things like that in there. But when it dissipated pretty quickly, part of me was pretty bummed because I enjoyed that, pepper spice, that white pepper, which transitioned to a black pepper on the long finish. But not having the pepper spice in there with the cedar wood and with that creaminess and that little bit of that cocoa note that's in there has been very, very pleasing. So I'm going to jump in and finish this cigar off. When I come back, I'll let you know any changes in the flavor profile, anything else I think you need to know, and whether or not I think it is nub-worthy or not. All right, let's wrap up this review. Here's the burn at the end of the cigar. Straightened itself out, pretty much razor straight. Nice mascara line throughout the entire cigar. Has performed quite well. Okay, flavor notes in the final third. They kind of moved forward and they kind of moved backwards. Here's what I mean by that. They move forward, so that chocolate note is much more pronounced now. The creaminess is still there just a little bit, but you've got that cedar wood that's actually offsetting that and is pretty much pushing the creaminess down towards a very, very background. But the pepper note that I just mentioned, wishing I, would experience it a little bit more, did come back a little bit in the final third. Now, it's not a very strong pepper. It's just a nice white pepper on the long finish. There's just a little bit of a pepper spice on the tongue, but it's nothing spicy whatsoever. But there is some pepper that did come back, which I actually am really glad that it did come back. So we've got that chocolate note, we've got the cedar, which is the strongest, and then we've got that pepper note. The minerality is still there, just a little bit, but not a whole lot. So overall, do I think this is a nub-worthy cigar? Well, if you look at all of the thirds and you look at everything that it went through as it progressed and moved forward, the pepper note that disappeared for a little bit, I wish it was there in the second third. I really enjoyed the more sort of savory chocolate creaminess that was in there in the second third. But if the pepper note had been there through the whole thing, this would be an absolutely phenomenal cigar. This definitely is nub-worthy, though, and it's nub-worthy because the experience from the first to the second to the final third and the transitions allowed different parts of the cigar to shine in different flavor notes to take foreground in some of the different parts, whether it was the chocolate, whether it was the cedar woodiness, whether it was the pepper note, whatever it was. It was really enjoyable through all of the different thirds of the cigar and as it progressed. Now, the strength as the cigar is wrapping up, I would say is probably about a medium to a medium plus. That is the only thing that is very noticeable that changed in the final third, is the strength did ramp up just a little bit and go to a medium to medium plus. It's nothing that's crazy strong, but it is an atypical Connecticut in the fact that it did have the strength ramp up. I would say the body is still a medium body. Smoke output is very plentiful, still very smooth. The draw has been very nice the entire time, and it has performed very, very well. If you've had this cigar, I'd love for you to put some comments down below. Let me know what your take on it was. I know there are a couple of reviews that I've seen that have been posted already. I haven't watched any of them because I wanted to not have any input from anybody else about it, but I'm now going to go back and watch them because I'm curious what they had to say about it. But I know there's some other reviews that are out there already, but if you've had the cigar or maybe you're enjoying it with me, I know I get that from time to time, where you're checking out the same cigar that I am when you look it up, when you get it, whatever it may be, put some comments down below. Was it similar to your experience? Was it different? Did you enjoy the pepper? Do you wish the pepper was gone? The woodiness, the chocolate, whatever it may be. But that's going to do it for this edition of Tobacco Talk. This is a nub-worthy cigar, and I think you should go and check it out. So that'll do it. But as I say every time, enjoy your cigar journey, everybody. I'm Cigar Show Tim. As always, I'll see you.